Hey everybody, Casper here. Um, and so I'm gonna try to make this a shorter video and probably make several videos and try to keep them right around 5 minutes. Um, and I would like everybody that does watch it to share it. Whether you agree with it, disagree with it, like it or not, share it. And because of the subject that I want to bring up and talk about, I have experience with. And there's a lot of people out that I see on social media that are um, promoting for some sort of an armed conflict in this country with one another. And I know for a fact that the majority of this country has no idea what they're talking about when they talk about this. The all of the armed forces, the percentage of the armed forces that sees some sort of conflict is very small. I want to say, I could be wrong. You guys can fact check me on this. I want to say it's right around 10% or so that sees some sort of they get rocketed attacked, they get IED'd, and I'm not trying to take away from those because I have lost friends to that. And there are other people that lost soldiers and have been grievously wounded from those. But the amount of people that have actually seen past that force-on-force combat is about 2%, maybe 3% out of all of the military. And when I mean that, I mean you see people, they are shooting at you, you are shooting back at them. And for some reason, people have this whole idea that the video games they watch and the movies that they watch, or I guess the video games they play, are just some fantastic thing where, it's fun and it's cool. Well, those are awesome because they're not real. Or that when you play airsoft with your buddies, it's really cool and there's adrenaline. Yeah, but it's airsoft. Or paintball. It's really fun, but again, it's not real. There's no respawn point in war. Ever. No one ever comes back from it. Friends die. Loved ones die. People do die. And yet, we have this idea that we should go into some sort of thing like this, where there's people on both sides talking about it, and it's absolutely ridiculous. Because the majority of people that are pushing for it have never been in it, have never seen it, and have no idea about it. I myself, I served for 4 years as airborne infantry in the Army, at the 82nd. And for myself, in those 4 years, that's 35,040 hours. And I only know that because I did the math before I made this video. And of that, I would say a good estimate, and it's very, very probably low, about 2,000 to 3,000 hours of training minimum. And what I mean by training, I mean training of close quarter tactics, combat, infantry stuff that your regular civilian doesn't train on, or if they do train on it, they maybe get a couple hundred hours. And that's just for 4 years for myself. And yet, people have this idea that we are going to get in an armed conflict with one another and that it's going to be a quick on one side or the other. It never is, and it's always horrific. And it's always bloody, too. And there's also the fact of where would the government fall in on this? And where are people going to fall in on this? And it's pretty bad when people think to themselves that, oh yeah, I can totally do this. If you want to go and see what armed conflict is like, then join the military. Or if you want to see what it's like and not actually participate, go to a lot of horrific countries that are in war-torn areas right now. There's Congo, there's Darfur. You can go to a lot of other places that have that. And another great way to find out if you really want to go do it, talk to a soldier that's been into these armed conflicts, and then talk to a counter. In other words, what I mean by a counter, someone that is a war refugee that left their country because of the war, of some sort of armed conflict and war. This country has a lot of them because it isn't at war and hasn't been at war for hundreds of years. So let's not bring it back. And this is just a quick little video on it that I wanted to just put out there because I don't see anybody else that has any experience whatsoever talking about why we need to stop ourselves from pushing forward to this and pushing forward to some sort of any armed conflict. It's really scary and it bothers me, and I'll talk more about this later. Anyways, love you all. Just share it, whether you agree with it or not. And the reason I say that is to put the message out there so that people can see it. All right? Take care. Bye.